This next design is called Midnight Garden. It's worked on tweed, and the idea is that you're using perhaps more textured threads to create this design. Still the easy stitches and the design's printed on, and I think it looks great with the display hoop as its frame. I just thought I'd show you what's in this kit. Obviously you get the printed fabric, it's printed on wool, and you get the print is great to work out the size of the stitch that you're going to use. But look at those colours, I just think they're fabulous colours. You've got some variegated threads, you've got some sparkly threads, you've got some knitting yarns, and then you've got a collection of organzas to create the fabric flowers. And then as well as that, you get a whole collection of beads and sequins just to create the texture. Next thing I'm going to show you is the actual stitching of it, so I'll just move those out the way. And I've got my piece of work here in a spring hoop. So this is the larger spring hoop, this is the 7-inch spring hoop. I'll just get my thread trimmed there. So the first thing that you're going to do, and obviously you've got step-by-step instructions, and you're just going to take a thread from the card, and then you're going to work with that to create the stitching. Very, very easy to do. It's nice to work with quite heavily textured threads. I'm starting with a knot, but the frame is good because it keeps the tension, and it keeps your work really, the stitching, it looks nice. So you bring the thread from the back, and you're just going to create some straight stitches. And you've got a guide as to the size of stitch. You're just going to go over that print, and you're just going to work the stitches all the way over. And obviously you'll get your blend of the colours in there as well. And gradually you'll complete the whole of this piece. In the central area I've left space for some sequins, but also some fabric flowers, so I'm just going to show you those in a moment. So to work the fabric flowers, I've got some of the organza, okay, and this time I'm just going to cut a strip of the organza, and I'm going to just about 1 centimetre, just the width of the fabric, doesn't matter if the selvage is there. And I'm going to take a little piece, and then I'm going to take one strand of a similar colour. I'm just going to put a knot at the end, and then you're going to take the needle and you're going to just do a running stitch all the way down the middle, small stitches. And as you approach the end, just take that through, and then as long as you've got the knot, you're then just going to gather that up, and then just hold the folds between your fingers, and in just a couple of stitches there is enough to hold it in place. And then of course you can use the same thread to attach it, just with a couple of stitches to your work. So I'm just going to attach the flower to the work now. I'm just going to place that onto the background, and then I'm just going to take a couple of stitches just to hold that in place. You can work a couple more just to secure it, just almost like a couple of stab stitches. And you're just going to take a couple more. And then if you wanted to, you could add beads into the centre of that. Really lovely, lots of texture. And again, you can add beads in the background. You can add some of the silver ones and the blue beads just to create the columns of the delphiniums. So if we go back to the finished design, you can see the straight stitching, a blend of colours. You can see some lazy daisies for the leaves. You can see a lovely arrangement of the sequins I think the best thing about this design is the columns of delphiniums. You can get them in fabulous colours, purples and blues, and I think just the beads give that little bit of interest and texture to this design. I like the way it's displayed in the hoop. This is the 7-inch display hoop, and I think it really enhances the design.